Welcome
to New Entry Wrestling Podcast, baby.
Hey, listeners out there. Before we get started, check us out on teespring.com for some cool merch. Check us out on Pro Wrestling Tees. We got 2 designs on there now, so we'll be adding more. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod. Follow us on Twitter on New Entry WP, and also follow us on get us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Radio Public. And don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and follow New Entry Wrestling Podcast. How you doing, Ian?
What up, boy? What we gonna be doing today?
What up? Today we're gonna talk about a little bit about what's going on, in pro wrestling, and then a little bit later, I have an interview with Tyler Edwards. He works for Black Label Pro Wrestling out of Indiana, and we're gonna go over the 2 upcoming shows they have in the Chicagoland area. So yeah, that'd be really fun.
All right.
Stay tuned for that, people.
Please.
Yeah.
So Ever, I just have a question, man. How come you don't have the New Entry logo in the background?
I can't figure out the filter thing. I gotta get a green screen. Like literally, I gotta get a green screen. I don't know how you do it, but I gotta get a green screen for it.
It's a white wall.
Oh, white wall? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have space like that here. I could literally just get a green screen, just put it back here, the big wall thing, and just do that. Anyways.
But yeah, you have money to go on vacation, huh?
I know, right?
Back to back vacation, but
I know. I prioritize my time. Just kidding.
But I'm not gonna have time. I don't have time to go somewhere and get a green screen.
Yeah.
Jeez.
True.
But I kind of wanted to talk to you about CM Punk, Colt Cabana, and Hangman Page.
Wow.
Do you know what's going on?
Crazy. It seems like, originally Colt Cabana and CM Punk were friends, and then I don't know who sued who, but they ended up suing each other, and then CM Punk I don't want to be around this guy anymore, and then it's kind of weird. They both work for AEW, so CM Punk's goal.
Colt Cabana works for Ring of Honor now.
No, but originally, when CM Punk last year when he signed up, he was part of AEW. Originally, Tony Khan was not going to re-sign him because he wants to be in good graces to CM Punk. But then the roster was like, no, he's a great guy. He's he's a great part of the roster. And then they're like, okay, at least sign to Ring of Honor. At least he'll be over there. He's still part of the AEW universe, whatever they call it. The AEW, they're still together, but he'll be on Ring of Honor, not on AEW television. So, so yeah. Then with Hangman Page, probably has the same beef. Like he's probably mad at him about something, but the same things probably.
From what I heard is, let me say the whole Colt Cabana and CM Punk, they were best friends for the longest time in wrestling. Mm-hmm. They were one of those people that I was hoping they'll have a moment at WWE, like how they had their feud in Ring of Honor, that great match they had. CM Punk's last match, I believe, in Ring of Honor, the 2 out of 3 falls. So I was hoping something like that would take place again in WWE, kind of similar like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And then CM Punk, the lawsuit thing, I think CM Punk message or email Colt Cabana basically saying, hey, I know I said I was going to pay for your legal fees, but it was a little bit more than expected. Or he came to realize that I shouldn't have to pay for your fees, even though they agreed on it beforehand. And so that's why basically, Colt Cabana sued CM Punk for going back on his word, or unless they had a contract, because I don't know, can you sue somebody going back on their word? And,
no, you have to have an actual physical contract. You can say it, but at the same time, you can't really.
Well, Colt Cabana basically said that it wasn't his fault and he shouldn't even be sued in the first place because of what you said. Yeah, you said it on my podcast, but it's like, I'm the one who's asking you the question, and you're the one who's saying all this stuff.
Yeah.
So
he had the option not to answer the question.
But... yeah, or he could have just, you know, I think no, they WWE didn't really care. Everybody didn't care. It was that one doctor that sued CM Punk and Colt Cabana that worked for the WWE, and WWE backed them up on that, basically. So, but yeah, and then Colt Cabana, he got signed with AEW. I was happy about it, but at the same time, he didn't really have that much TV time. So luckily, he joined the Dark Order, so that way he was able to get more TV time.
Yeah.
And then the downside about that is that we didn't get to see him wrestle as much. So, and it's crazy. I know you've seen Colt Cabana, his gimmick, his work, but if you see all his matches back in the day, it's like, yes, he has this funny gimmick, but he could wrestle, he could go, put him in a feud, whatever. He had great feuds with Homicide, he had great feuds with Kevin Steen, Adam Pearce, CM Punk at one point. So it's just like he could be in those crazy storylines, similar to like a Raven and a RVD back in the day in ECW. I know it's weird, but
yeah,
it's and then they bring CM Punk. That was my first thought. I was like, how's that gonna work out? But I mean, business is business. You don't have to say hi to each other, don't have to talk to each other. I'm pretty sure Colt Cabana has his own locker room. I'm pretty sure he shares the locker room, and I'm pretty sure CM Punk is gonna have his own locker room.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like, why can't you just put your BS aside?
Yeah.
And it's like you guys could have worked together and have great matches together, but CM Punk is just there to make people look good and also make himself look good, because or else I personally think, obviously it's Tony Khan's call and idea, but I don't think CM Punk should have won the title.
Yeah. No.
And two, it was too early. And two, of all people to take the title from, he took it from a babyface, Adam Page, who beat Kenny Omega, who was the longest reigning at the time AEW World Champion. Adam Page should have held the title much longer. If Punk was gonna take it, it could have happened at All Out.
Yeah,
it could have happened then, but it happened at Double or Nothing, and both of them were baby faces.
Do you see that? Like they're gonna have the championship merge, the unification match on Dynamite. The fuck? What? You're losing out on money here.
I mean,
like give it away for free on television.
They announced it last Wednesday, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, what?
A week notice, not even like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or next month.
Yeah, there's no build up, man.
There was, yeah. I mean, to be fair, their match really doesn't need a build up, because imagine if you bought a ticket to go see AEW and they announce it. It's like, good on them. Good to the people who are actually gonna go and watch that match. I'm not gonna lie,
but a unification match? Come on. On Dynamite?
Dynamite.
Give it an All Out. At least All Out's like another, like what, next
But would you, I mean, yeah, you would, everybody thought that's what was going to happen. It was going to be Jon Moxley versus CM Punk. But can I ask you, did you wanted to see that match at All Out? Do you want that to be your main event at All Out to crown the undisputed?
Yeah. Because first of all, Dynamite's not even in Chicago, right? That day. It's somewhere else.
Dynamite, yeah, it's somewhere else. It's not in
Chicago. I know Rampage in Chicago. I don't know.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Not
but like
this
no,
week.
Next week. Yeah, next week. Next week is in Chicago. I think they're doing Dynamite, Rampage, and All Out all in Chicagoland area.
Right.
But I'm thinking like, why not just save that for Chicago? The Chicago crowd is crazy. Obviously, we're from Chicagoland area. We're both, we know like how the crowds could be. Like, we've been to the, WWE shows, Impact shows, whatever shows they have, indie shows. I'm like, save that for Chicago. First of all, you have a Chicago guy, CM Punk. For Jon Moxley, he's a beast too.
You think they're gonna have a triple threat match?
No, it's a unification match. It'd be kind of weird to have a unification match.
No. At
Oh,
All Out. So CM Punk versus John Moxley versus Hangman Page.
I, I don't know. They should just save that match for All Out. They should like say, "Oh, CM Punk can't compete this week." Like make it part of a storyline because he is kind of, that's the thing going on right now. Like I'm not gonna defend the title until All Out. It has to be in
Mm,
Chicago or nothing, you know.
no, I'm pretty sure. I mean, yeah, it's just kind of weird that it's not going to happen at All Out because everybody assumed that was going to be the main event, and it is a big match. So you basically are saying you would rather see that match take place at All Out and not either
Yeah,
Punk as champion or John Moxley champion facing being
right.
a triple threat match? Because I feel like that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna
Look,
add Adam
the only
Page.
reason the only reason they want it on Dynamite because they could hit a million viewers, right? Which might not even happen. Might not even happen,
But let's
even with
say
the
if it
unification
but I
match.
mean let's say if it does, can you do it again the week after?
They can't. But you want more people to buy your pay per view because you want to make money. The
I mean
point of
people are gonna buy the pay-per-view
I know, but
regardless.
like more people, like I want to. Like if I don't even watch AEW, I gotta watch the highlights. I like a lot of the wrestlers, but I don't watch the show, so I can't even tell you like how the results go and stuff. But if I had to watch one match out of all of them that's been around, I will definitely watch the unification match. And but at a
Right.
pay per view, I'm like, okay, I'll check that match out. But like, okay, I could watch it on Dynamite. Like, okay, they're just trying to like get their ratings up, which nobody cares really, but now everybody cares about TV ratings. But I don't know. I mean,
But
you
you
want to
know
have your pay
what?
per view, but it's
You know
more,
what? This would be good because it shows that can Punk really do a million views?
yeah,
Can CM Punk really draw a million views? And also, because I think he drew a million views
his
on
debut.
his debut slash return, but it's like, of course, everybody wants to see you come back. People
Yeah,
have been waiting for you to come back,
yeah.
but
But then yeah,
can you draw a million views every week?
yeah,
But
that's the
to
tough
me,
part.
it's whatever. Yeah, it is the tough part, but for me, it's like I don't really care. I do like Punk. It's just I hate, there was an incident with Adam Page pairing doing a shoot on CM Punk, and then he was backstage crying to Tony Khan, and people around the area assumed because he walked out, and everybody assumed that CM Punk quit.
Wow.
So
Put a Sasha and a Naomi.
I mean, they got that
Well,
from Punk.
yeah. Well, he said himself like if you don't like something, like you could walk out. So he's pretty much he is a man of his word though. Like if he doesn't like the way something is, like that's why he pretty much when it happened with Sasha Banks and Naomi, he's like, yeah, you should definitely do that. Something I'm not quoting him, but I think something about like, yeah, we should definitely if it happen if you ever feel like frustrated or something, just like leave and like you don't have to stay there. So
Yeah,
he's a man of his word. He's like, I don't care, I don't like that. I'm out. You know. But he's a champion though. That's the thing. If he wasn't champion, like okay, like okay, we don't want to lose you, but at the same time, like if you retire today, okay, you're not, but you're a champion right now, so you know,
yeah.
yeah, tread
Apparently,
lightly.
when Punk and Hangman were announced for Double or Nothing, uh, rumor has it Punk told Tony that he didn't want to lose to Adam Page.
Wow.
So that's why the title swap hands.
And then he got injured that day.
Uh he
now,
got he got hurt. I heard that he got hurt on that pay-per-view, but in the match later that week, the six-man tag, that's where he broke his foot
okay,
because he should have been off it. And but then people are saying that no, he got hurt and broke his foot that same match. But I heard rumors that he got hurt on the pay-per-view or
okay,
during the match and stuff.
yeah,
So
okay.
don't know.
But yeah, see what I don't know what's gonna happen, man. Because I mean, he's gonna probably like, okay, like, I'm gonna drop this belt at I don't know when. Not he's not gonna lose to John Moxley, that's for sure. He's probably gonna drop it like at no
Okay,
all
so
out.
let's just say CM Punk wins.
Mhm.
How you want to see the undisputed match, right? To crown the undisputed champion at All Out. How mad would you be if either Punk or John Moxley won and then they have a rematch at All Out.
Yeah, that'd be kind of like what?
Would you?
What's the...
Would you? But would you? Yeah, because it's like imagine Punk. Say John Moxley wins. CM Punk. Okay, well I want a rematch. So at All Out. So it and that way Punk could win the title in Chicago.
Yeah,
I could see that happening. I feel
yeah,
like that's what's gonna happen now.
yeah, yeah. I
Because
can see that too. No, not anything about it. I'm like, yeah.
and then think about it, because I could be wrong, but wasn't CM Punk's first UFC fight was in Las Vegas, and then his
I,
second match was in Chicago, or his
he
third
got,
match.
yeah, he got owned in all three of them or two of them. He got destroyed. Oh,
So little deja vu, I guess.
yeah. So let's see what happens. But
Um, okay, but let's hope that doesn't happen. But
right,
who would you like to see CM Punk face at All Out, or let's just say CM Punk is still out? Who would you like to see John Moxley face at All Out?
I don't know because I thought they had a ranking system, which they don't really follow.
Besides that, I'm saying you. Who would you want to
Oh,
see?
has the Omega ever lose his belt officially?
Yeah, he lost to
Oh, he did.
Hangman
Oh, yeah, he lost to
Page.
Hangman Page.
Oh, Kenny
Um,
Omega returned, by the way. But we'll
yeah, I
talk
know.
about
Yeah,
that. But answer the question though.
no, Kenny Omega. I'll have Kenny Omega.
Okay, face John Moxley or Punk or both?
I haven't. I think he hasn't ever faced Punk, so that'd be freaking awesome. Actually, like I like
Yeah,
Omega, but imagine him. But I wish they fought in Japan too. That would be fire. But like, yeah, CM Punk versus John Mox. CM Punk versus
Kenny
Omega.
Omega.
Yeah, Omega would be. I think that'd be fire.
Right,
You
I
know,
agree. I
or
would,
like
yeah, but
where's Brian? You know, or Daniel Brian Danielson, but he's injured, right? No, he's back. Yeah,
no,
he's
he's
back.
back. He's been back.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fire
He
too.
just had a good 2 out of 3 falls match with what's his name, Daniel
Daniel
Graza
Garcia.
Garcia,
Yeah.
and he may be turning face, so he may be leaving Jericho's group.
Oh, nice.
Uh, but yeah, it's kind of weird. Before we talk about Kenny Omega, it's weird. I just thought about it, but not that long ago, maybe a week or two now, uh, John Moxley faced Chris Jericho or the Lionheart on Dynamite.
Yeah.
So 2 former WWE guys who were facing for the AEW championship on Dynamite. And now it's gonna happen again with CM Punk and John Moxley to crown the undisputed champion.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just weird to me how you just had, besides the whole their former WWEs, that's whatever. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah.
Uh they just had 2 world title matches back to back, almost back to back. I mean, I guess every 2 weeks they had a world title match, and
Yeah.
then next week, so another 2 weeks later or whatever, uh, we're having we're gonna have all out, which obviously is gonna have the world title defense. So we're gonna have 3 world title defense within like a week or two apart.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, so it's just
And
kind of like
that's like 2010 WWE. You know, remember when like Rey Mysterio defended and he lost it? He won it and then he lost it to John Cena the next night, and then John
no
Cena
later
lost it.
than he wanted
Yeah,
that later that night.
and then John Cena probably did he lose it that week? That following week?
No,
No,
that's was the feud towards I think another week or two it was gonna be SummerSlam.
yeah. So it's kind of like this is like
Yeah.
early 2010s WWE stuff. Like, yeah, just drop the belt and then win it, and then drop the belt and then win it within, or like have these
Yeah,
championship
because
matches.
Rey Mysterio, so Paul Rey Mysterio won the title, then it was Cena, then Pac, then Alberto Del Rio,
Yeah,
then Cena again, then
yeah.
back to El Patron.
Alberto,
Um
Alberto.
I said El Patron.
Yeah, well, yeah,
And then back to CM Punk from like what July or August all the way to like November. There was just playing hot
yeah.
potato with the title.
So I think the thing is they want to
But
like appease. Yeah,
John Moxley he retained. Now he's
yeah.
facing Punk, the current world champion.
So like I say, what if he loses it? He loses it, and then Punk wins it back, and then Punk loses it 2 weeks later to Omega, and then Omega loses it 2 weeks
No,
later to Page.
Omega's
Yeah.
part of the Young Bucks, the
Oh yeah.
Elite. They're gonna crown the 6-man tag team championship.
They're probably gonna get it too. Probably.
Yeah,
I can see that.
But Omega's still hurt. Apparently,
oh,
he's
okay,
not 100%.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be 100% for a while.
Yeah, so I think he's just gonna do this match. They may go over, maybe not. Yeah. I think Omega said that he's not 100%, but he's just here so he could have his moment with the Young Bucks, and so they could have their moment as well.
Yeah, I get you.
He's a good friend. What else before we go to your interview? Announced. Omega. Oh yeah, Omega. No, I thought we already talked about.
Oh yeah, we did. Okay, yeah, we did. Okay.
Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards, man, bound for glory.
Oh yeah.
I'm so excited about that. Eddie Edwards has accomplished a lot except for one thing, and that's main event. Well, there's also the digital media championship, but besides that, he accomplished a lot. And the one thing he hasn't accomplished yet is main event bound for glory. So Josh Alexander versus Eddie Edwards. Happy to see that. I'm mad that I'm not going to be there. Why are they having a show on a Friday? This is their biggest pay-per-view. That's a freaking Friday. Saturday, I could have made it, but no, it's on a Friday.
Emergence was on a Friday too.
Yeah, but that's like
their pay-per-view plus or something.
Yeah, pay-per-view plus kind of deal. Bound for Glory Slammiversary is their actual big pay-per-view and Hard to Kill. So I think they just have 3. I think Rebellion is a pay-per-view as well. Yeah. So they have 4.
Okay.
But that's gonna be a great match. I have a question for you. Not really a question, but I kind of wanted to do something cool.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. The game is called This or That. So I'm gonna give you 2 names, and you're gonna either pick one or the other, and then we're just gonna continue the list. All right?
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
So this or that: Bret Hart or Eddie Guerrero?
Eddie Guerrero.
Okay. Rey Mysterio or Chris Jericho?
Rey Mysterio.
Lita or Trish Stratus?
Damn. See, that one was hard.
That's what she said.
I say Lita.
Lita? Okay. Yeah. Triple H or Ric Flair?
Triple H.
Really? You took the... I really thought that one... I mean, I felt like you were going to take Triple H, but I really thought it was going to be a difficult one for you. Becky or Sasha Banks?
Sasha Banks.
Last one, Cody Rhodes or Seth freaking Rollins?
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. So that's a new game that we're gonna, not really a game, but I mean this or that. I wanted to do something new for this episode, and hopefully we continue it in future episodes.
Yeah.
Next time I'll come up with different, or not different, but difficult ones. Because I gave you pretty easy ones like Bret Hart or Eddie Guerrero. I already knew you. I should have done Rey Mysterio or Eddie Guerrero.
Oh my god!
See, there you go. You know what? Answer it. Eddie Guerrero or Rey Mysterio?
Eddie Guerrero. I don't know. You can't be Eddie Guerrero's still a beast. I love Rey Mysterio is awesome, but like Eddie Guerrero, man, come on, man. You know.
All right. Before we go on to the interview, man, you want to let the listeners know or the viewers know about our shop?
Yeah, guys. Check us out on Pro Wrestling Tees. We got new designs on there, so definitely support. We also got teespring.com. It's different kind of gear. You just for merch. There's you just type in New Entry Wrestling Podcast. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok at New Entry Wrestling Pod, Twitter on New Entry WP, and what else? YouTube, YouTube for videos, and subscribe, like, and share. And then we also have our podcast here: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, and we're trying to expand from there.
For sure. So let's get into this interview. Let's go. What's the guy's name?
Oh, Tyler Edwards from Blacklabelpro.
All right, you ready, Tyler? Let's go into this interview, baby.
Hello, guys. This is Ever, one half of New Interesting Podcast with my co-host Ian. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Today, I have a special guest today. His name is Tyler Edwards. He works at Black Label Pro Wrestling. Thank you so much for joining me, Tyler.
Thank you for having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you so much. Give a little background of like what you do. I know that you do talent relations, but give more detail of like what you do for Black Label Pro.
Yeah, so technically my title is just talent relations. So I have something to throw in my bio for social media so people know who I am. Basically, like at this point, I am helping pretty much run things with Mikey. So like booking talent for shows, putting the shows together, matches, everything like that. And then, especially on the talent side, like I'm the one in charge of getting flights, hotels, all that fun stuff taken care of. So yeah, a little bit of everything, but it's something I definitely enjoy doing. So
that's awesome. How long have you been in the wrestling business? Like, how long have you been? So, are you like a co-founder of Black Label Pro, or are you more like got on later on, and like later on when the company was already around?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So I originally started going to BLP shows just as a fan. I think the first show I went to was probably, I want to say like April of 2018. And I'd say for probably like a good year or so, I was just going to the shows as a fan, got to know Mikey more throughout that time and everything. And then, let's see, I believe it was around that Mania weekend in New York. So that would have been, because I know they did a show out there as part of the First Collective. He asked me if I wanted to actually start helping out and actually become like part of the crew. So I jumped at the opportunity, and then basically just over time, slowly started doing more within the company. I think he could tell too, like it was something I was definitely passionate about and like wanted to do more. So yeah, it's been a great like partnership. He's been fantastic, and yeah, I definitely am grateful he decided to take the opportunity and have me join and everything. And yeah, it's been, so I'd say probably like about 2 full years now of me getting like more involved with like booking, all that type of stuff. And then before that was just a fan, just watching. Been watching probably since I was like, probably like 4 or 5 years old. So,
so you've been a fan for a while.
Yep. Yeah. So I've been a fan for a long time. So yeah, it's definitely cool being on the other side of things now, getting to experience all that. So.
Nice. Well, so what got you into like wrestling? Like, what was your first show? Were you more like WWE? Were you more like independence, Japan? Like, what started your like love for pro wrestling? Like, where you are now today?
Yeah, so I would say definitely at first it was mainly WWE. I'd say a little bit WCW too at the time. My brother, he's about, I think like 12, 13 years older than me. So he was big into wrestling when he was a kid and stuff. So for all the younger listeners, back in the day when there was VHS tapes and everything, he had recorded like a bunch of episodes of Raw, I think Superstars, whatever the like other weekly shows were besides Raw at the time. So I stumbled across those and then just started watching them and pretty much got hooked instantly. So like after like running through all those tapes, I know my mom even took me to the video store. I'd start renting all the pay-per-views and everything, getting familiar with that. And then I started watching on TV and all that. So yeah, I'd say probably, because that would have been like around 98, 99, probably up until like 2005-ish. It was really just knowing like the big companies that existed. So like WWE, WCW, ECW before those other two folded. And then I think the first thing that would have been like a smaller company or something outside of that would have been me stumbling on TNA when they were running on, what was that network called? Like Fox Sports Network. Yeah. So they were doing like, I want to say like afternoon shows. Like I remember like I'd come home from school at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and they'd have like episodes of TNA on there. So like started following that. And then, when they switched over to Spike and everything, and I probably didn't start getting like into the independent stuff, like even Ring of Honor and all that, probably until like early 2010s. I'd say like 2011 maybe even.
So you were there around like the time when CM Punk was around? No, he was already out. Wait, when was he in WWE?
Yeah. So it would have been, I think, like right around the time. I think it might have been around the time of Punk's like title run when he did the stuff with Cena and everything.
Yeah.
Like the start of that with like the walking out with the title and all that. Because I'd say probably for a good, like, I think like 3 or 4 years from like 2008 to about that time in 2011, I had pretty much stopped watching like altogether. And then some of my friends had gotten back into it. And then that's also around the time I joined Twitter and stuff. And there were so many people that would like live tweet stuff. And back then, like pretty much if you were live tweeting stuff, people would just start following each other and then you would just talk wrestling with people. So yeah.
It's like what Clubhouse is today kind of thing, right? Like they just talk about wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. So what was like your first like live pay-per-view, or like did you or like your first like pay-per-view show?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. I didn't go to too many like shows as a kid. I know I can't remember the year exactly. I know it was for my birthday one year. My parents got me tickets to an episode of Raw that was at Allstate Arena.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it would have been, I want to say 2002. Because I do remember, I don't remember too much about the show as a whole, but I do remember it was around the time Kane was feuding with Triple H in Evolution. And I know during the match, they removed his mask and then he ran to the back. So it was still when he had the mask on, but it was like right before he did actually take the mask off and then ditch it. So sometime around that time frame. But yeah, that was my first live show. And then I think I went to a couple live events they did, because I know they used to run Hammond occasionally. And then I think even back in the day too, they would run Valpo University. They would run in the gym there. I don't think they've probably ran there for at least like 15 years. But yeah, so went to a couple live events, but I'd say probably not until like 2017, 2018 is when I really started going to like even in independent shows like regularly and stuff.
Oh, right. Nice. So for like, what's your fondest memory so far working for Blacklabelpro, like in talent relations? Like, what's your fondest memory? Like when you first started, like a wrestler you met that you finally got to meet, or like what was your what's been your fondest memory to this point? I mean, obviously you're still there, you know.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully for a while, as long as Mike doesn't get too annoyed with me. I would say probably now, especially since it's happened and everything, being able to run my own shows this past summer. It, as hectic of an experience as it was, and definitely something I don't think I have any interest in doing again anytime soon. It definitely was like very cool that like, and also Mikey did help a lot with that. Like that would not have been possible without him helping me. Like being able to actually like coordinate that, plan it, set a date, book everyone, have it actually happen, and both like and doing 2 shows on top of it because I'm crazy. But yeah, both shows going so well. Like everybody that was at the shows enjoyed them. Everybody that watched at home enjoyed them a lot. Seemed like everybody in the locker room had a great time. Like it was a really great atmosphere. So yeah, being able to actually do that, and then also on top of it, being able to donate money after the show to a good cause and everything, like that's something I'm definitely very proud of and very happy that I was able to pull off.
Nice, definitely. So like if you could book any wrestler, like doesn't matter if they're in WWE, they're like in AEW, like any company, who would you book and what match would you put them in and what kind of stipulation?
Ooh, okay. So for me personally, because I've also definitely tried a couple times to actually make this happen. For me, my dream booking would probably be Tyler Breeze. Yeah, like if you notice, like my social handles are Prince Petty. I'm a huge fan of Up, Up, Down, Down, and everything. Breeze has been one of my favorites for the longest time. So if I could book him, gosh, I don't even know who against. Like, as much as I'd like to say, like, you know, have like a good actual wrestling match, because he can definitely go in the ring. I definitely probably, like, I wouldn't even be against him doing a match like, say, against somebody like Danhausen or something, because like as good of a wrestler he is, like he's so great and like his comedic timing. He's so funny. Like I feel like he could have just as great of a match with somebody like Danhausen or something, or even Effie, and just do like a bunch of character stuff.
Yeah.
Like I feel, anyone I could book a match against with Breeze, I feel like would be a great match.
And would it be like a singles match, or would you try to make it more like like more singles, or more like what kind of type of match would it be? Like just a one-on-one?
Yeah, like I'd even be okay with a singles match, or even, I mean, if I had the money, like a tag match with him and Fandango, getting the Fashion Police back together, have them team up against somebody. Because even like we have a bunch of tag teams, or even if it was like two people that occasionally tag together, like even if it was like those two against, say, like Effie and Dan the Dad or something, like just to have like a really fun, crazy, wild match, like something like that, I think would be like so cool and like great to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I like Tyler Breeze a lot. I mean, right now he's doing a lot of the up, down, down stuff, but that'd be kind of cool to see him in the ring.
I'm so glad they worked something out where even though he's not an active wrestler with the company, they still like worked out terms so he could still do up, down, down. Yeah. But like I hope at some point, I know he's content not wrestling right now, but I hope he does get that itch again and actually like wants to start wrestling again.
Yeah, definitely. And who else would you book? Like, I mean, like we'll say, okay, that's like the main event, right? What would be like the rest of your card? Let's say there's 4 matches. Anyone in anyone in any company. Like we say, that's obviously, you say Tyler Breeze. Like who else would you want to book? Like that whole card. Let's just see you fill your own card by yourself. Who would it be?
Oh man, yeah. If I was booking a whole card, like especially from AEW, like would definitely love to have Daniel Garcia back. He's someone that's just so good and only going to get better. Let's see. I'm trying to think of people we actually haven't used that I would like to book.
It could even be people like, it could be even WWE guys, like current WWE guys. Like say it was Dream Booking.
Dream Booking. Oh god, like Seth Rollins. Would love to have him come back and maybe even do something like where he doesn't come out as Seth Rollins, back as Tyler Black. Like that would be very cool. Gosh, there are so many people. Carmelo Hayes. Like we were fortunate enough to have him once at BLP, and like my biggest regret is not being able to use him more than just that one time. Because like the second he got signed, I knew he was somebody that was like, oh, he's never coming back to the independent. Like he's gonna be a superstar in that company, which it's cool to see him having as much success as he is. But yeah, like Seth versus Mello would be like an insane match to have. I think that'll probably be a match that does end up happening at some point in WWE. Yeah. But that'll be a great match. Gosh, who else? Would definitely love also like dream booking wise to say like throw injuries out the window, reuniting American Alpha for a tag match. Oh man, Gable and Jordan were so good. I was so upset when they broke them up. I felt they did it way too early. Gosh, I don't even know who I'd have them work. Honestly, like pretty much any tag team, even if it was an AEW tag team, like the Bucks or somebody like that, like
FTR.
Yes, another match with FTR.
Powerhouse.
Yes, FTR is that's a perfect example of somebody I'd love to book. Like FTR, those guys I know would just have a crazy match with pretty much just about anyone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, FTR, that'd be pretty cool to have. And you make him as your champion, or what do you want to book him as champions? I have like every belt.
Oh yeah, of course. What's another title? I'm sure they have a big enough suitcase by now.
Yeah, definitely. Any other like female wrestlers you would want to book? Like, what do you want to book? Have you booked? Let me see who. Have you like any female superstars or any?
Yeah, like if there was one match, especially if it was just 2 women, like a singles match one-on-one, would obviously love to do like Bailey versus Kylie Ray. Like that would be a really good match. Sasha is another one that would like pretty much put her with anybody. Also, like same goes for Bailey, like being able to possibly book those in like a intergender match, like they would definitely kill it and have like an incredible match with just about anyone. So there's a lot of possibilities. There's just, that's one good thing with wrestling right now as a whole. There's just so like much great talent right now that like possibilities are endless, honestly.
Definitely. And speaking of like WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
You ever think like Triple H will ever ease up his restrictions on his wrestlers and allow them to wrestle in the indies? You think that'll ever happen, or is it gonna still be like we're the WWE and this is our machine? We're not gonna, you know, what I mean, like let's say a one-off appearance, like let's say like Bailey, she could go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think it'll ever happen, or is it gonna be more like sorry, it's gonna be like the same kind of system that has been going on?
I feel like it'll still like at the root of it, it'll be the same kind of system just because of like how big of a company WWE is. And also from like their perspective, I'm sure like I do feel like Triple H would be the type of person that would be open to allowing something like that. But going along with that, like let's say they do get the chance to do a one-off and then they do get hurt or something.
Yeah.
Like that's definitely a big reason. Like I understand from their side why that's something they would be hesitant about doing. But like even going along with that, I do think even if it's not necessarily wrestling, I do think Triple H is going to be more open to letting people do stuff outside of the company. So like even I'm sure obviously for like Comic-Cons and stuff like that, but I wouldn't be surprised even if like somebody who had been working the independents for a long time, like letting them go back to their home independent company and doing like a meet and greet or something, or even appearing on the show and just like cutting a promo and not necessarily working a match.
Yeah.
I do think that's something that could definitely be a possibility down the line with him, because I feel like even already, I don't know if, because also this was online, so I don't know if it was a legit source or not, but like I think he's even already like laxing up on like the Twitch streaming and everything like that.
Yeah.
So I definitely think he's going to be more of like trying to think of the word for it, but definitely more on the superstar side of things. And like, he understands their side, like their perspective, since he had worked for such a long time. So like, I definitely think things are going to be a lot better in that aspect for like talent within the company.
Nice. And who would be the first person like? Let's say WWE eases up on it. Okay, hey, wrestlers like I want to work for Blacklabelpro. Like I want to be at the meet and greet at least, right? Not wrestle. Who would it be? Like one person. That'd be one person. He would.
Oh man, one person.
Like who has worked before? Like I don't remember like who's worked with you guys. Like who's obviously Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah, Carmelo has. Trying to think who else. I know Cora worked for us once or twice.
She's in Chicago. She's from Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else in
Scarlett. She worked with you guys or no?
I don't know if he did. I don't think he did. I'm trying to think who else. So I don't think anybody on the main roster.
Ali, I think he's from Chicago, or the Chicagoland area.
Yeah, if he was down to do something, which he's such a great guy. I've met him a couple of times. He's somebody that, like just to have him, even outside of a meet and greet, like I'd love for him to just come hang out at a show and just watch the show. Let's see. I'm trying to think. I feel like I'm forgetting someone very obvious that's in NXT. But I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I feel like a lot of the people we used regularly ended up with AEW for the most part.
I getcha.
It's because, like, yeah, trying to think. Yeah, I can't think of anybody else off the top of my head. I'm sure, like, knowing my luck after we're done with this, I'll think of who it was. But yeah,
it's all right. I mean, it'll come to you eventually, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of AEW, like, have you ever been in communication with Tony Khan, or how does his wrestlers come to you? Like, how does that work? Like, obviously they're independent contractors, right? But they're still contracted with AEW. How does that work? Is it all through like a system? I don't know. Obviously I don't understand that process.
They do have a system in place, so like we don't deal with Tony directly. So basically what we do is we'll just reach out to the individual person. So like, let's say, for example, if we brought in like Lee Moriarty again. So like I would hit up Lee, throw him like the dates for our upcoming shows, let him know, see if he's interested in coming to work one of them. And then basically what he would do is once they get like their TV schedule and stuff, then they would just check, make sure if the date they were interested in, they didn't have like something booked already, like a dark taping or something where they had to be like there for AEW, and then they would just have to go through, I believe, just talent relations, and then just get approval for it. And usually it's a fairly simple process. Like, I think the big rule is as long as it's nothing on a Wednesday or Friday when they have Rampage or Dynamite on TV, you're pretty much going to be approved for it if you're not doing anything like already scheduled for them.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, yeah. I like. And who do you want to like? If you had to book one wrestler from like AEW, who would it be like right now? Like, would it be a Daniel Bryan? Bryan Danielson. I'm so confused. So
yeah,
Moxley. Would it be like a Punk?
Yeah, like Moxley would be cool, definitely, because like he's been doing GCW. I think he's done a couple other indies. He just seems like a really cool, laid back guy. Like he'd be down for whatever. Obviously, yeah, Danielson for sure. Like getting to run, because like I know one match I would love to see happen, and like a dream booking match for BLP, if it was ever at all possible, would probably be running Danielson versus Jonathan Gresham, because I feel like that match would just be so great. Would pretty much just be like, okay, you guys have like 25-30 minutes, go do your thing.
Definitely. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
just let them just go wrestle. Like go wrestle.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's literally all the direction those two would need. So yeah. But yeah, I'd say for sure, like if I had to pick one, especially someone that hasn't worked for us before, I would definitely say probably Danielson or Moxley.
That's a good one. Those are really good choices. Definitely. Yeah, and I'll go back to you, all right? What do you do outside of like wrestling? Like do you you just focus on BLP the whole time, or you also like have I know I saw one of your posts you graduated from college recently.
Yeah. So thankfully now I'm done with college, graduated in May at the end of the spring semester. Was fortunate enough to land a job already. So now I am working full time. So I'm trying to balance like keeping up with BLP stuff along with working my job. But yeah, outside of that, like hobby wise, definitely into other sports like football, baseball, basketball, big into video games and stuff. So yeah, try to maintain a healthy balance between everything without driving myself crazy.
Yeah, I definitely get that. Yeah. I also work outside, podcasting and stuff. So what was your degree in? Like, what was your like focus or your major or minor?
Yeah, so my major was accounting, and then I did also add on a minor in finance because I was fortunate. A lot of the classes I was taking that were requirements for my accounting degree, there was a good chunk of them that were finance classes already. And then I also had a good amount of business electives. So I just filled those business electives with the other finance classes I would need to get the minor. So I was able to add on the minor without having to do like any extra hours outside of outside of the original requirement for the accounting degree. So yeah, I was able to squeeze the minor in too. So yeah, definitely I feel like it was a solid career choice because my thought process, even going back to when I was in high school, because I was able to take a couple years of accounting in high school and really enjoyed it. But it was something that like right off the bat, I knew like every company, no matter what it is, has an accounting department, needs accounting. It's something that isn't going to go away anytime soon. So I figured it was definitely a career that there'd be a lot of opportunities. And then also there's just such a wide variety of stuff that even if I did end up switching like jobs or companies down the line, like I could go into so many different things. It's not the same type of repetitive work that I would get bored with it. So
definitely. Yeah. I get what you mean. Because I have a degree in history and I work in fintech right now. So it's kind of like, I went from like history to fintech.
Oh man. Yeah, definitely a big difference.
Definitely. That's pretty cool, man. Yep. And so you just, do you ever plan on like, I don't know if you want to answer. If you ever want to plan on opening your own wrestling promotion, or you're okay just like I'm just gonna do Blacklabelpro for the foreseeable future, like, or is that like absolutely. not the mind, is that not the end goal, just to,
Yeah, I would say at least for the foreseeable future, and by foreseeable future I mean like a while. I'm definitely more than okay with just doing BLP with Mikey, because like I feel like, especially by now, even we have such a good system down and we work so well together and like we complement each other really well. And then going along with that too, like anyone who runs a company solo by themselves, like I give them so much credit because there's so much work that goes into just every single show behind the scenes, getting everything together and, ready for a show, that like it's even with me and Mikey and then like with his wife Jess helping out and stuff, and then other people that help out and pitch in and do stuff, like there's still so much stuff that like I couldn't imagine having to do it like year round, every single show solo, like coordinating everything. Like I would probably just be so burnt out probably within like 6 months of doing it solo.
Yeah, I get you. And yeah, speaking of shows, you have 2 shows coming up, right? You have one on the 27th, the Total Eclipse of the Heart with the debut of Jimmy Hart. That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
How did you get that? How did you get Jimmy Hart?
So Mikey knows so many of those like older legends and stuff. I think he had Jimmy Hart's agent or whoever coordinates his bookings and stuff. So he contacted him, reached out, had thrown him some of our upcoming dates. The August one lined up, got that squared away. It was pretty quick. Like I'd say that was a pretty easy one to put together and like actually confirm. So yeah, we're very excited about that because yeah, someone like Jimmy Hart, I mean, his resume speaks for itself. And then also on top of that, he even was cool at doing a seminar. So I definitely feel like that's something that's going to be exciting because, I mean, just in a couple hours, the stuff he could talk about and teach people who do the seminar, like he's probably forgotten more stuff than most of us will even know within wrestling. So yeah, I feel like it'll be a great opportunity for anyone that comes and does a seminar. And then yeah, we're doing a meet and greet before, so I have the chance to meet him, get something signed, take a picture with him. So yeah, it's definitely very excited about that. Something I'm very looking forward to.
And also, you have the BLP Rumble. Is that like more like how does that work? I mean, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen that part when you did the show. Is it more like a Royal Rumble or is it more like a tournament?
Yeah, so it is like your traditional Royal Rumble. I know this time we're capping it at 30 participants. I think the last one we did pre-COVID, like I think we ran up to like 38 or 39 people. Wow. I was just like, all right, no. I was like, this is too many people. Like we need to cut this back down. So yeah, it'll be 30 people. If we did talk about the intervals, I don't remember, so I'm not going to be like, oh, every minute or 90 seconds, but it'll be something like that. Obviously, we'll start out with 2 people, and then however so often the next entrant will come out, and then traditional Royal Rumble rules, over the top rope, both feet have to touch the floor, all that good exciting stuff. So yeah, it's something I'm looking forward to because I think the last time we did it was, I believe, January of 2020.
Okay, so right before COVID, like right. It's pretty stacked. You have Jake something, you have Sky Blue, Marco Stunt, you have Warhorse, Billy Starks, Big Damo, D-Ray 3000. You got a whole roster in there.
Oh yeah, man. Because besides the Rumble itself, I believe, oh gosh, I think we have like 5 or 6 matches outside of the Rumble. I know we still have one to announce Monday as well.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we had we have a habit of doing just a very loaded card, but not where like you're going to be sitting halfway through the show being like, oh my gosh, when is this going to be over?
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, so that'll be on 27th in Crown Point, right, live, and then also on IWTV, right, at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, or is it Eastern Time?
Yeah, 3 p.m. Central Time, because being in Northwest Indiana, we are on Central Time. Oh, nice. So yeah, it'll be 3 p.m. Central start time, streaming live on IWTV. So you can find us there. Or obviously, if you're within the area, I would highly recommend coming to the show. Yeah. It's going to be a very crazy show and one you will definitely get your money's worth out of.
Definitely. And then you have a second show coming up a couple weeks, the week after that.
Yes.
For the Second City Summit, right? With GCW, 4 cups stuffed.
Yes. So that is something we've actually been doing with Brett and GCW for a few years now. We did the first one, I believe 2019. I think that was the first All Out weekend, I want to say. Yeah. And yeah, so the first one I believe was called 2 Cup Stuff. So we just keep adding a cup. Obviously, it took a hiatus because of COVID, and then we came back last year with it. So yeah, that is a joint show that we run with Brett and GCW. So it's a mix of GCW talent, BLP talent, and then like obviously some special names. We'll have some bigger attractions on the card. Like I know one of the matches that's already been announced was Joey Janela versus Ernest the Cat Miller, which knowing Joey, that's probably a match. He was just like, hey, Brett, how about we do this match? And Brett was like, all right.
And you also have
like, I'll hook it up.
And then you have another match, right? You have Brian Alvarez and Billy Starks versus Tom Lawler and Killer Kelly.
Yes. So that one, that one's going to be quite the match. We posted the clip. I guess it started on their podcast that they do together, or like live weekly show. Like Brian and Tom just got into it on the show, and then I want to say Tom was the one who challenged him to the match. And so Brian was like, all right, sure. And wanted Billy as his partner. And then I believe Tom originally wanted Debbie Malenko, but she was busy that weekend. So then he was like, all right, fine. Then I'll just have Killer Kelly as my tag partner.
Yeah, she's amazing. I was at the Impact show. She was
you
amazing.
were? Okay,
I was at the what was it called? Second City Slam or something? Yeah, Second City Slam.
The one at Cicero, right?
Yeah,
Cicero Okay, yeah. No, I am so happy she's back in the States and able to actually work now too here. Like her whole presentation on Impact so far since she's come back has been so cool. Like I'm so happy for her. She's like one of the best, like sweetest, most genuine people I've met in wrestling. So I'm definitely happy to see her back, and I'm sure she's going to do some really great things in Impact and like elsewhere. Like I know she's already like booked like crazy on Independence. I know she's going back over to Germany to do WXW. I know she's looking forward to that. So definitely. I feel like the rest of 2022 and 2023 are definitely going to be a very big year for her.
Definitely. And then this show will be in Hoffman Estates. So it's like, I'm in Lyle, so it's like 30 minutes for me. That's awesome. But I noticed it starts at 11 p.m. That's like, wow, that's late.
Very, very late start time. Because I know, what is that?
There's a show early in the day, right? There's a GCW show, Art of War or something. No, that's Saturday.
Yeah, that's Saturday. I know we're doing the 11 o'clock start time because I believe Rampage will still be live on Friday. And unless they bump up the time to like an afternoon start, which I doubt they will, this way we run at 11. So then that way, whoever's at Rampage can still make it over. Because I know the, I think the name of the arena is called like Grand Sports Arena.
Yeah, Grand Sports, and then I think Impact AEW is at the Now Arena or Sears Center.
So from Now Arena to the Grand Sports Arena where we run, it's literally like maybe 5-10 minutes away.
Okay.
So very short drive. So even if like, you're taking your time leaving Rampage, you'll still get to our show with plenty of time to spare.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, that's why I was like, wow, 11 o'clock. That's most wrestling shows end at 11 o'clock. But I get you. I mean, it's going to be a great show. People are going to, get a cup of coffee or something and just let's go.
Absolutely. The first 2 shows we did have been very crazy. And this third show is probably going to be even crazier than those first 2. So, yeah.
You don't even have the whole lineup like already. You only have 2. Well, so far I saw 2 matches only, I think, booked, right?
So far just the 2 matches announced. I know we also announced Rich Swann will be competing on the show.
Nice.
And then I'm not sure how Mikey and Brett are planning to announce the rest of it. I'm not sure if they're going to do more individual talent announcements like Swann, or if they're just going to start getting straight into like actual match announcements.
Nice.
But definitely, I would say keep an eye out for that. So I know we're announcing the last match for the August 27th show this upcoming Monday, and then I would say just keep your eyes peeled on social media the next couple weeks for the rest of the card for 4 Cup Stuffed.
Yeah, like where can they find it? And mostly on Twitter, right? Like what, at the Blacklabelpro Twitter or your personal Twitter?
Yes. So you can follow the Black Label Pro accounts on Twitter, Instagram, and then we are also on Facebook. Facebook, easiest way would just to be search up Black Label Pro. Our page will pop up right away. Twitter, I believe that handle on Twitter is Blabelpro, but also same thing. If you search Blacklabelpro, it'll pop up. And then Instagram, I believe, is the full Blacklabelpro for the handle. But again, same thing. If you search us on any of those platforms, you'll easily be able to find us.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have. It looks like Zoom is telling me like we have to, but yeah, I mean, thank you so much for joining me, Tyler. This was amazing.
Of course.
I mean, I would love to have you back, especially, the rest of the year with the schedule. Mm-hmm. You're in the Chicagoland area. I'm in Chicagoland area. Ian, obviously he would join us next time. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. And guys, check out Total Eclipse of the Heart on August 27th in Crown Point, or IWTV at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also, check out 4 Cup Stuffed on September 2nd at 11 p.m. at Grand Sports Arena in Hoffman Estates. That's also on IWTV, or is that
that
on
one
Fight?
Will be on Fight, yeah.
Fight.
I know. I'm not sure if we have the Fight link already, but if not, it'll definitely be on our social page or GCW's page sometime in the next couple weeks.
All right, perfect. Well, again, Tyler, thank you so much for joining us. This is Ever, one half of a New Entry Wrestling podcast. Check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Thanks so much, guys, and thank you, Tyler.
All right, thank you for having me.